War in Italy! The year is 1945 and dogfights are ablaze all across Europe. Bombs are dropping, planes are crashing, and young men dying horribly in the field of battle like men. All's well, except the Air Force is completely insane. Even though they have had limited success, the Italians have still managed to be outwitted by a bunch of morons, and only Captain John Yossarian realizes this. Even he managed to fly 65 missions before he went who knows where, and yet we do not know where he is. Who knows? Maybe this guy had something to do with it. I couldn't tell. So that there's basically the whole idea of Catch-22 in a nutshell. Really, it's a very interesting take on war, and it's like satire, but at the same time, it's not. It's like pre-Bush and 9/11 satire of war, and like it's very much a companion piece to like Slaughterhouse 9. Do you realize it? Regardless, I remembered quite a bit about the book when I read it. Most of the fun parts, like Clevinger's trial and like what the heck happened to Orr. But I also kind of forgot like the more tragic parts of the book, such as the fates of like characters such as Doc Danica and Kid Watson. It's a very good read, I have to admit, but at the same time, it's not exactly something you could just recommend to everybody. Its take on black humor and wartime politics is just it kind of flies over the head when you read the book the first time, but once you reread it a second time, you have a better understanding of the character dynamics as well as how the plot will unfold. Since it's in an anachronistic order, the whole events of the book don't make sense at first. So rereading it really helps put things into perspective and helps you enjoy and sympathize with the plight of the characters. Mostly Asarian because everyone else is insane, which kind of makes them sane. I'm sorry, I had to do a little catch-22 there. Regardless, I really enjoyed reading the book, and before I was like kind of excited about the reread project because I was like, oh, maybe I can read Catch-22 again. That was a good book. And well, here we are. Me making a 1940s style news clip out of non-moving images. Yeah. Regardless, I wouldn't really recommend it to everybody, but if you're like really interested into history and stuff like that, then this book is definitely for you. Otherwise, it's really not. Joseph Heller took like 8 years to write this, and most of it was based on his own war experiences. So it's not necessarily a read for everybody, and it's definitely not a read for little kids. Like, honestly, I recommend at least like junior level before you start looking at this. Regardless, I always wanted to reread the book because it's left you on such a cliffhanger. You're like, well, what happens next? And that was like, well, now you understand what happens, and it's like you sympathize a lot more with the characters and stuff. Regardless, I really enjoyed the book, and every little detail that slipped over my head, I got to enjoy and reread a second time, which is real great because like they really like to sneak in little things that you'd forget about the first time round. Regardless, I really enjoyed the book, and I really enjoyed the project overall. Still, this is like Joseph Heller's magnum opus. If you do not know what to read, I would recommend Catch-22. But at the same time, well, you know. Diego out.